Hey guys, welcome back. Let's get into it, but before that, please subscribe to Movie Recap by Ivka. Our story begins when two people who was walking through a parking garage and suddenly discover a body, and they call the police, and we see Detective Eva driving on her way to pick up her daughter from the school where she receives a call from her colleague Bernie, who informs her about the crime, and then she arranges an assistant Tori tell her when and where the murder took place. They examine the scene and see that the victim was killed with a knife. Barney assumes the motive was robbery, that the victim might have caught someone trying to steal the car, and a struggle ensued leading to murder, but Eva disagrees. She argues that a thief wouldn't be carrying a kitchen knife and believes the motive was murder. She asks about the victim and learns that the victim name is Arturos, 36 years old. He was married. Eva then meets Maki, Arturo's wife, who arrives with her colleague Andreas when she finds out about the death of her husband's. She breaks down and is unable to speak with Eve. Eva and Bernie go back to the station to gather more information about the life and married of the victim. The body was discovered hours after the murder, and his wallet was still with him, suggesting it wasn't robbery. Eva visits the morgue for the autopsy. Report Arturo was stabbed 6 times with a kitchen knife. The attack came surprise, leaving Arturo unable to defend himself. The killer was described as psychopath, and the murder weapon was not found at the scene. Back at the station, Eva learns more from Tori. Arturo was known as a calm man who avoided conflict. However, a few days before his death, he had a fight with one of the workers during home renovations. Eva then meets with Maki again, and is surprised to find her calm and glued to her phone despite the brutal way her husband died. During the interrogation, Eva asks about Arturo's relationships. Maki mentions a female colleague who seemed interested in Arturo. When asked for details, Maki claims she didn't see anything herself, but her friend Sonia once saw Arturo with the woman. Maki says she doesn't know more. Eva follows up with Sonia and finds out that Arturo and Maki were not happy together, and that Maki was having an affair with a man named Daniel. This gives Eva her first lead. The wife had a lover suspicious of Maki. Eva asks Bernie to keep an eye on her and gather information about Daniel. Eva then visits the public prosecutor and requests permission to tap Maki's calls, saying she might be a suspect. The prosecutor refuses due to lack of evidence, but agrees to give her access to Maki and Arturo's phone record. The next day, Eva attends Arturo's funeral. She watches Maki cry and deliver a heartfelt speech expressing her deep love for Arturo and her inability to imagine life without him, but Eva doesn't buy it. She believes that if Maki truly loved Arturo, she wouldn't have betrayed him. Tori tells Eva that 2 months before the murder, Arturos sent a message to Maki saying he didn't want to continue their life together, that they lived separately under the same roof, and he felt she didn't care about him. Eva decides to visit Maki at her parents' house. She notices Maki's family is deeply religious. When Maki sees Eva, she gets nervous and asks to speak privately in her room. Eva agrees. Maki confesses to the affair with Daniel. She says she didn't mention him during the investigation because she's sure he had nothing to do with Arturo's death. He didn't even know she was married. She begs Eva not to expose the affair because her religious family might kill her and Arturo's family would never forgive her. It would be her second betrayal. We learn that a month before their wedding, Maki cheated on Arturo with a man named Auris. The scandal became public and Arturo's and his family wanted to cancel the wedding. Her family even considered killing her. Eventually Arturo forgave her, and they got married. Maki expresses deep regret and guilt for what she did. Eva then asks if Maki was with Daniel at the time of the murder, as the hospital confirmed he wasn't there. Maki admits she was with Daniel but lied to cover up the affair. Soon after, Bernie uncovers another shocking detail. Maki had a third lover, Andreas, who was with her when she saw Arturo's body. Eva returns to the prosecutor and renews her request to tap Maki's calls, arguing that she had 3 lovers and could have conspired with one of them to kill Arturo. This time, the prosecutor agrees. Eva and her team begin monitoring Maki's calls. They hear her talking to Sonia about how perfect Daniel is. Then they listen to a call between Maki and Elia 18 days after Arturo's death, where she tells him she wants to have children with him in another Call with Sonia. Maki says her relationship with Laius has resumed. Later she calls Daniel and apologizes for disappearing. She confesses she was married and that her husband was murdered. Daniel is clearly shocked and had no idea she was ever married. Now it's confirmed. Maki was involved with 3 men at the same time, Laius, Andrea, and Daniel. Eva instructs Bernie and Tori to keep monitoring Maki and her lovers. They speculate that her strict upbringing may have led her to become unfaithful. Shortly after, Eva receives devastating news. Bernie, her close friend and partner, was killed during a raid. She grieves deeply. Later she's introduced to Marco, who will take over the Arturo case with her 2 months later. Eva arrives at work and Tori plays her a new phone recording. It's a call between Maki and a 4th man named Salve. It's clear from the call that they're in a relationship. He's her 4th lover. We go back in time about a year, specifically to the wedding of Maki and Arturo. We see that Arturo's family doesn't like Maki after finding out about her infidelity. They're surprised Arturo still went through with the marriage and forgave her. We also learn an important detail. Arturo registered the apartment in his name only. All the property belongs to him and Maki owns nothing. However, it's clear Arturo loved her and forgive her. As time goes on, the relationship between Maki and Arturo becomes dull. They barely see each other except on holidays because Maki works 2 jobs. 3 months after their wedding, she meets Andreas and starts an affair with him. She can't stand Arturo. She acts like Arturo and his family are strangers. Around that time, Arturo receives a call informing him that his friend has died in an accident. He also learns that his friend had a large life insurance policy. Maki asks him if he also has life insurance, and he says his job has insured him for a large amount. Later, Maki goes to a nightclub with Sonia where she meets Daniel and is attracted to him at first sight. They start an affair and she spends the night at his place. When she returns home, she's surprised to find Arturo already there. He asks where she's been and why she didn't sleep at home. She tells him she was with Sonia because she broke up with her boyfriend. Instead of apologizing, she argues with Arturo for interrogating her and acting suspicious, but Arturo tells her he misses her, and it's been a long time since they spent time together. He hardly sees her anymore. She replies that she's exhausted. The next day, Daniel sent a message to Maki saying he misses her. At that moment, Arturo sees the message and realizes she's cheating on him. They argue and he tells her he won't live with a woman who's unfaithful. He wants her out. Maki insists she helped pay for the house renovations and that she has a right to it, but Arturo threatens to expose her. She storms out without responding. Overwhelmed, Maki sends a message to Andreas, claiming Arturo hits her and that she's had enough. She asks him to kill Arturo. Andreas refuses but suggests they run away together. Instead, Maki realizes Salve is infatuated with her. She meets with Salve, cries, and tells him that her husband beats her and that she's tired of her life. Salve is a man in his late 40s, married, but he falls in love with Maki. Maki decides to exploit him. She gets closer to him, convinces him she loves him and tells him Arturo is the only thing standing in their way. She asks him to kill Arturo and explains that Arturo parks his car in a remote garage so no one will see him. She says she has a key and will give it to him so he can enter and leave unnoticed. She makes him agrees. He says he's doing it, and then he grabs a kitchen knife, waits for Arturo and attacks him, killing him. Then he disposes of the key, his clothes, and the murder weapon, and tells Maki the job is done. He meets with Maki, who pretends to be scared of him, and cries. He assures her that it all happened quickly and that Arturo didn't suffer. She tells him not to contact her until things calm down. He agrees and gives her a phone with a private number, saying no one will be able to trace them if she uses it. Strangely, Maki continues chatting and joking with Daniel as if her husband hadn't just died. As time passes, she completely ignores Salve, but he insists on seeing her, saying he misses her. She suggests they meet at her apartment. When he arrives the next day, she calls to say she'll be late. Suspicious, Salve opens her laptop and sees messages between her and Daniel planning to run away. He's shocked and asks her about Daniel. She denies any relationship and says he's just a friend, and that she wants to travel so she can escape her depression and clear her mind. He tells her he heard from a friend that the police are monitoring her and knows she plans to leave. She gets nervous and asks if die police are tapping her phone. He says he doesn't know. Back in the present, Eva listens to the call between Salve and Maki and understands that Maki manipulated him into killing her husband. Maki agrees to meet Salve in half an hour. Eva takes a team and goes to monitor them. Meanwhile, Tori calls Eva and tells her he got Salve's phone records, revealing he was using a private number to contact Maki, another piece of evidence. Eva goes to the prosecutor with the call recordings and photos of their meetings and requests permission to record their upcoming meeting, convinced she'll get a confession. Later, Arturo's brother, Victor, calls Eva and asks for updates. She tells him they're about to catch the killer. She says this intentionally so he'll tell Maki, hoping it will make her panic and reach out to Salve, giving them the confession they need in a later scene. At that moment, Maki visits a new apartment with Daniel. She loves it, but the price is high. So, she goes to Victor and Arturo's family to ask about dividing the inheritance. Victor tells her they won't divide anything until Arturo's killer is punished, and informs her the police already know who the killer is. Panicked, Maki goes to her mother and tells her that a co-worker who was obsessed with her is the one who killed Arturo. Her mother tells her it's not her fault. Then, Maki calls Salve and tells him the police know who the killer is. He tells her not to worry, that the police will likely pin it on someone else, and asks if she'll get Arturo's insurance payout. She says yes and asks to meet. Meanwhile, Eva's assistant, Marco, plants a recording device inside a tissue box and has a waitress place it on their table, allowing them to record everything. Salve tells Maki not to think about what happened and just forget it. She asks about the key, and he says he got rid of it, assuring her no one will ever know. Eva takes the recording to the prosecutor and requests arrest warrants for both Salve and Maki. The warrants are issued and they are both arrested. During interrogation, Maki claims Salve was obsessed with her and killed Arturo for her. Salve confirms her story and refuses to admit she manipulated him, but both are jailed because the call recordings prove Maki was complicit. We later find out that, while in jail, Maki sent love letters to Sval to ensure he wouldn't change his testimony. But at the same time, she began a romantic relationship with another inmate. When Salve finds out, he changes his statement and confesses that Maki persuaded him to kill Arturo. In the end, Maki is sentenced to 17 years in prison and Salve to 22 years. Please like and subscribe.